In the last video, we spoke about web development, downloaded one of these three text editors, VS Code, Atom, and Sublime Text. Then we created an HTML file, and I showed you the basic structure of an HTML document. It all starts with this basic doctype HTML declaration. So doctype HTML. What this means is that you're telling the browser that the type of this document is an HTML document. Pretty basic, right? Now, what comes after it is this HTML tag. But this tag should be followed by a closing tag like so, HTML. So this is an opening tag, this is a closing tag, and some tags in HTML must be followed by a closing tag. Basically, inside this HTML tag comes all HTML elements that we will see later on. Now, I'm gonna specify to this opening tag an attribute, and attributes are just special words that control the behavior of an opening tag. So we know that this is an opening tag, this is a closing tag. So I'm gonna add an attribute which is lang, which stands for language, equal to en. En stands for English, and I'm basically saying that the language of this HTML document is English. Now, after the HTML tag comes the head tag, and I'll write it head, and we should close it with this closing tag. Now, why do we use this head tag? Well, basically the head tag contains metadata or information only readable by search engines. Basically, these information helps search engine, let's say Google, find your website and rank it on search results. Now, I'm not going to go in depth about search engines, but after the head tag comes the meta tag, which defines metadata about your HTML document. So meta, and I'm going to add an attribute of charset. So charset equal to, this is the value of the attribute, and it will be UTF-8. What meta charset UTF-8 means? Well, it basically specifies the encoding of the HTML document, which is UTF-8. Now, after the meta tag comes the title tag. So title, and I need to close it with a closing tag. Now here I could give a title to my HTML document. So I'll write my website. And now let's see it on the browser. So as you can see, there's the title of my web page. So everything that is inside the head tag is not visible to the user. This is only information for the search engine. After the head tag comes the body tag. So I'm gonna write body and of course close it with a closing tag. Now what comes inside the body is all the elements or HTML elements that will be visible to the user, like text, images, links, and more. Let's start by writing something basic. I'm gonna use the p tag, which stands for paragraph, and I'm gonna write welcome to my webpage. And I'm gonna close this p tag. As you can see, it displays on my browser, welcome to my webpage. So yes, the p or paragraph tag allows us to write text on our browser. Let's say after this closing p tag, I add another p tag, and I said, feel free to navigate. Now what do you think? Do you think this sentence will be next to this sentence? Well, let's see. As you can see, it displays on a new line. And the reason is because the p tag is a block level element, which means that it takes all the horizontal space available for it on this line, which leaves no space for the other p tag but to go on a new line. In each website, there is headings, right? So let's do our own heading. I'll say h1 and I'll write my website and close this h1. Now, you notice that I said h1. Is there h2 and h3? Well, yes, there is. There is still h6. Let me write them for you. Okay, so there it is, h1 till h6. So heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, all the way to heading 6. Let me save this HTML document and refresh my browser. Look at this, heading 1 or h1 all the way to h6. So h1 has the biggest font size, all the way to h6, which has the smallest font size. So as you can see, these are the headings from h1 till h6. Okay, the h1 looks good, but I really want to italicize it and underline it. So how to do it? First, to italicize it, I'm gonna use the I tag, which means italicize. And to underline, I'm gonna use the U tag, which means underline. So these tags also should be closed, of course. So closing the U tag and the I tag. Let's see what will happen. As you can see, it got italicized and underlined. Let's do something else. Let's say my webpage, I want to bold it. How to do it? Well, we could use the B tag or bold tag to bold a phrase or a word. So let's close it, and what comes inside the B tag will be bold only. And as you can see, my web page got bold. Okay, good. Let's go and add a new header. It will be an H2, and I'm gonna write section 1. And of course, close the H2. Next, I'm gonna write some paragraphs. So I'm gonna say in the P tag, we have the best phone cases. I'm gonna add another phrase right now and say, make your purchase now. As you can see, we have the header 2 over here, section 1, and we have these phrases over here. Well, I'm gonna make this phrase on a new line. Well, it's easy. I'm just gonna press enter and we're good to go. Well, as you can see, HTML didn't know that I wanted to go on a new line. Well, basically, we didn't told HTML to do it. How to say it? Well, I could say BR, which stands for break, and it will go to a new line, as you can see over here. Now, I would love to separate this part from this part with a horizontal line. So how to do it? I'm gonna go through here and separate it with the horizontal line by saying HR. And HR means horizontal line, and it is self-closing, just like the BR over here. Let me save it and let's see what will happen. As you can see, we have a horizontal line. And right now, let's underline and italicize H2. You know how. I for italicize and U for underline. And of course, not to forget, we need to close the tags. Now, I'm gonna do something else. You see this best word? I'm gonna make it bigger than the others. How to do it? Well, there's this big tag that will increase the font size of a word. So everything that comes inside the big tag will have an increase in a font. And now phone cases, I'm gonna italicize it. So I'm gonna say I, and I'm gonna italicize only phone cases. And before I refresh my browser, I want to add something else. Do you see this now in purchase now? I'm gonna make it more stronger, more appealing if you want, eye-catchy. Let's say I'm gonna add this strong tag over here. So strong, and make sure to close it. As you can see, section 1 has been italicized and underlined. Now let's go to the first phrase. We have the best phone cases. As you can see, best received an increase in font size because of the big tag. And we italicized phone cases. Now let's go to make your purchase now. This strong tag actually bolded this word, so now became more appealing and more strong. Okay, let's go and put an HR over here, and let's go to another one. I'll say H2, U to underline, I to italicize. I'm gonna write section 2. Now I'm gonna teach you something else. Let's say inside this paragraph I wrote CO2. Let's see what will be written. As you can see, CO2, but usually the 2 on CO2 should be under the O, right? How to do it in HTML? Well, it's actually very simple. Between the O and the 2, I'm gonna write the sub tag, and sub means subscript. So what it will do is, first I need to close it, and let's refresh the browser. As you can see, the 2 is under the O. So this is the sub tag. We also have the sub tag or superscript tag. So let's say I go to a new line and I say 10, let's say exponent or to the power of 2. Now this is 102, but I want it to the power of 2. So I'll say sub. I'm gonna use the superscript tag, and make sure that you close the sub tag and close the p tag. Let me save it and refresh the browser. As you can see, 10 to the power of 2. Now let's go to something else. I'm gonna add another HR, and right now I'm gonna write the name of the author. Let's say P, author, and there it is. Now let's make the author a bit more bold, so I'm gonna add the B tag, like so, and of course close it. And for John, I'm gonna emphasize it by using the EM for emphasize, and I'm gonna make the font size a bit smaller. How to do it? While using the small tag. So small, and make sure to close it. As you can see, author got bold and John got emphasized and the font size decreased. And here you go. I hope by now you can be efficient in writing simple HTML using the tags you learned today. Make sure to practice them, and I hope you got some value from this video. Subscribe to continue this HTML series with me, because in the next video, we'll take it a step further than that. so stay notified. But meanwhile, if you're experiencing crashes in your PC, check out this video to find out the reasons, or check this video to fix slow PC issue.